Thank you, and thank you, General, for appearing before us today. This is an issue that we've all monitored very closely, and I, for one, am grateful to see us drawing down in a serious way and would support a more aggressive effort, but appreciate very much the planning that's going into this. I wanted to go in a slightly different direction. As I'm sure you know, we are currently running into an issue that we also confronted in Iraq, that insurgent murders of allied indigenous translators who were on the payroll of coalition armed forces. My hometown of Lowell, Massachusetts, has a small community of Iraqis who sought refuge in our country after helping us in our effort in Iraq, and whose lives and the lives of their families were very much at risk as we drew down. So this is an issue which was brought to my attention very shortly after I first took office. And Senator Kennedy, the then dean of our delegation, also played a key role in expediting visa approvals for Iraqi translators in 2008. Today, however, according to an article this week in the New York Times, thousands of Afghan applicants are caught in an approval process that lasts for more than 2 years. As many as 5,000 were waiting to begin the process as of last fall, and a number of these translators worked with Special Operations Command, putting their lives in even greater danger by participating in dozens, if not hundreds, of high-risk missions. I recognize that this is an issue really that the State Department is within the State Department's purview and not ISAF's. But to the extent you can you please outline some of the measures that ISAF takes in collaboration with the Afghan National Security Forces to protect Afghan translators both during and after their service with ISAF?
Congresswoman, when they're serving with us, we provide them the same standard of protection we provide to our own forces. And I would just echo your comments. They have been absolutely critical to our success over the past 10 years, and some incredibly committed and brave young Afghans and some not so young Afghans have provided us with extraordinary support to allow us to accomplish the mission. And so I'm very supportive of them in the cases of those that have applied for visas to be able to get to the United States. We have, in some cases on a case-by-case basis, ensured that their paperwork was properly completed and forwarded from the embassy in Kabul, so at least they were back here and competing for the visa applications back here. Once they're no longer in our service, we do not provide them with security, and in many cases they are at great risk, which I think highlights the importance of the visa program and ensuring that we try to do that as expeditiously as possible, because these are individuals that we owe a debt of gratitude to.
Well, I appreciate that, and I know I've seen from the families that are in Lowell, Massachusetts, who helped our effort in Iraq. Making their way to this country is not an easy one. They need a lot of support once here, but I encourage you, just in recognition of sort of maintaining the integrity of our effort, that we do everything we can to help Afghans who have helped us, especially those translators. I also want to associate myself with the comments that have been made about supporting helping support the gains that have been made for women and girls in Afghanistan. I have been part of several trips that have really focused on those gains. You spoke about the numbers of young people now going to school. We visited a school in northern Afghanistan in which hundreds of girls were coming through on any given day. Obviously with the support of their families, putting their families at risk as they were their young people, but tremendous gains that have been made. And I, for one, would hate to see us walk away or be seen as walking away from those gains. They've been so important, have elevated the sightlines of young girls. We asked, what do you want to do? They want to do exactly what our young daughters want to do, and that's just a result of exposure to education. So I encourage you in your capacity to do everything you can as we begin to draw down our effort. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you.